When I worked in a recording studio, one of my favorite microphones to use for recording kick out, bass guitars, electric guitars was the RE20 and the RE27 by Electro-Voice. Now, if you're not familiar with this microphone, it is a large diaphragm dynamic microphone that is very, very famous in the broadcasting world. It's great for podcasting and for recording things like bass guitars, drums, you name it. And while I haven't used this microphone in a long time, I was browsing a music forum where somebody posed a question that made me think about these microphones again. That question is, what is the difference between the RE20 and the RE320 Electro-Voice microphone? And I was going to jump in and try to answer this question when I realized that it wasn't the 320 that I had any familiarity with, it was the RE20 and the RE27. And so I was taking a look online and I saw that these microphones do seem very similar. However, it's the price that's very, very different. The RE20 runs for about $450 while the RE320 runs for $300. So $150 difference between the two. Looking at the specs, it almost seemed like identical microphones. So I was really curious myself. I know that there's a difference between the RE20 and the RE27, and there's only about a $50 difference between the two. So I was kind of wondering, okay, what is the difference? And today, I'm going to answer that question for you. We are going to take a look at the RE20 microphone and the RE320 microphone. We're going to compare it against miking up a electric guitar, an acoustic guitar, and the voice. And we're going to see what the sonic differences are to see if the $150 price difference is warranted for the RE20 or if you can just get the RE320 and call it a day. I want to thank Sweetwater for sending me both microphones so I can do this shootout. I'm going to show you how similar both these look. So you can see for yourself. They both come in the same exact case. Open it up here. RE20 in black. Very classic microphone. I'm sure you've seen it if you've watched any type of podcast. It's that between this and the Shure SM7B, it seems like. Open up for the RE320 in black. They look pretty much identical. This one's a little bit more metallic-y looking. This one's more matte finish. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look, listen to some audio examples. We're gonna kind of A-B between the two, and you're gonna hear the difference for yourself. Let's jump into the computer and take a look. All right, so I'm here in the Luna session. I already recorded the tracks just to keep it easy. The clean AB and the grit AB is electric guitar. I recorded through a Supro Delta King 12-inch. I also ran through some pedals. The clean has a Walrus Julia Chorus vibrato pedal on it, while the grit AB has that pedal as well as the Moxie by Wampler, which is a tube screamer. And then the acoustic guitar is a Taylor 514 cedar top with mahogany back and sides, and then the voice, just me speaking into it as a voiceover style. I did try to level match the two as best as I could. The RE320 does record a little hotter than the RE20, so that is something to keep in mind. Perhaps you have a preamp that doesn't have a whole lot of gain. You may get more mileage out of the RE320. With the RE20, you may need something like a cloud lifter just to give it a little bit extra boost into your preamp to make sure that you can get the right levels. Also, it's worth noting that you should be listening to this on a good set of stereo monitors and or headphones to really get the to really be able to hear those differences. You will notice a little bit of difference in just the overall frequency response of the two microphones as well as the imaging. All right, so I'm just going to jump in and kind of A-B between the two. I'm going to start with the clean electric guitars and go from there. So RE20. All right, so what I'm hearing right away is the RE320 is brighter than the RE20. Also, the RE320 has a little bit more of a smeared image compared to the RE20, which has more of a focused image. Now, none of this is better or worse. It's just a matter of preference and what you want out of your microphone. Is a more focused image and maybe a little bit more of a mid-range, darker microphone what you're looking for and worth the extra $150? That's something that you need to decide. Me personally, I like the fact that the RE20 has a more focused image because I'm thinking that, you're gonna, like, just by itself, it doesn't really matter. But as you begin to add in other instruments, you want to have that focused image because it takes up less space in the stereo field. Is that really gonna be a huge deal breaker in the long run? Probably not, but it's just something that will just kind of give you a little bit of a advantage as you begin to add more instruments. I also feel like with the RE20, you can, EQ it to make it sound brighter if you are missing some of that high end that the RE320 gives you. But again, just a matter of preference and what is important to you. For the recording of this electric guitar, I would prefer the RE20 over the RE320, but you make the decision. All right, so for a little bit of grit, just to kind of, spice things up and just kind of give a different tonal feel, we're gonna check this out. All right, as you can hear, both microphones sound great. It does a really fantastic job with electric guitar amps. I love using this microphone for that. I prefer it over something like an SM57. It's just a matter of preference. It's all colors. That's what microphones are. There's like little paintbrushes. But again, you can hear the 320 is brighter than the RE20. So kind of make up your mind on which you prefer. And again, like I said, they're just different. They both sound good, just a little bit different. Let's move on to the acoustic guitar. So it's worth noting that there's a little switch in the R20, R320 down here that changes a bit of the frequency response. On here I put RE20 bump, but really what it is, it's actually a low end cut. So you get rid of a little bit of that extra kind of low end weight, while the RE320 actually has a bump. So they call it a kick bump. So like if you wanted to use it for a kick drum, you can actually add in a little bit more oomph. So this isn't necessarily accurate. It'd be RE20 be kind of a cut, as you can. You have some more low end, while with the 320, adds in a little bit more of that mid-range oomph to it. So you do have those differences between the two microphones, something to kind of keep in consideration. We'll hear it a little bit more on the voice as we listen to the voice.
Premium performance from the studio to the stage. Engineered for world-class music production performance in both the recording studio and live stage applications. Premium performance from the studio to the stage. 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 Engineered for world-class music production performance in both the recording studio and live stage applications.
All right, so as you can hear, again, the 320 has a little bit more of just a smeared image. It's not as focused, and present in your face. I feel like with the RE20
Premium performance from the studio to the stage. Premium performance from the studio to the stage. Premium performance from the...
There's just a more of a focused image to the RE20 that I like, especially when like a voiceover speaking. I liked it with the guitar. That doesn't mean the RE320 is bad. The RE320 sounds great as well. And if somebody were to give me the RE320, I would use it all day long for, voiceover work, podcasting, for recording on electric guitars. It wouldn't be my first choice for an acoustic guitar. I'd probably use a condenser for that. But in any application that you would normally use a dynamic microphone, the RE320 is awesome. Just compared to the RE20, I like the RE20 because it has a more focused image. I also do like the fact that it feels a little bit more clear because of the high end that the RE320 adds and a little bit more of that smearedness. It just feels not as three-dimensional to me. But again, you can always use EQ to help with that, and vice versa. If the RE20, you're not digging the fact that it has kind of more of a low, rolled off high end, you could use EQ, bring a little bit of that back in. So yeah, I mean, I'm excited to have the microphones. I'm super excited to finally be able to shoot out and see the difference, because even though they look identical, again, I mean, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference. There is difference in the way they sound. So I hope that this video was helpful for you, and let me know in the comments below what you thought of the microphones, which one you would prefer. If you want to check out the product pages, I'll leave a description below. Those are affiliate links. So if you do click on that and purchase, I will earn a small commission, but it's at no additional charge for you. It helps me to continue doing these kinds of videos for you. Also, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, as well as the bell to get more notifications for videos like this. I hope you have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.